back to Midnight Viewing, the Horror Anthology podcast, where this season we're taking a look at George Romero's 1980s series, Tales from the Darkside. Sharing the Midnight View with me are the Projection Booth's Mike White.
Dad, I am not a werewolf.
And the Culture Cast, Chris Stashew.
Daddy, I am a werebear.
Tonight, we are taking a look at the next two episodes of season 4, the final season of Tales from the Darkside. Those are Do Not Open This Box and Family Reunion. Do Not Open This Box, Season 4, Episode 15, originally aired on May the 15th, 1988. That's my ex-wife's birthday. Not 1988, but May 15th. Anyway, written by Franco Amuri and Bob Balaban. Franco Amuri, father of Eva Amuri, he was married to Susan Sarandon, their daughter, Eva Amuri, quite a good actress on her own. Directed by Jodie Foster, inexplicably, starring Eileen Heckart, William Lamasina, and Richard B. Shull. This is about an elderly inventor and his nagging wife who receive a mysterious package that may prove priceless if they don't open it. That's the title, after all. Mike, what'd you think of this one?
First off, I was just kind of confused because I was looking up Stephen King's Golden Tales.
Yeah.
Which apparently took a bunch of Tales from the Darkside that were based on Stephen King things and stuck them all together.
I believe that's a UK video cassette.
Interesting. This one was just kind of frustrating for me. We've talked about Deal with the Devil episodes. I mean, Richard B. Shull can play a great devil. I love him so much. I really liked the inventor guy who kind of reminded me a little bit of, oh gosh, I think he was the very first Tales from the Darkside, the guy who was scaring all the trick-or-treaters.
Barnard Hughes.
Thank you. Speaking of Tron, the Master Control Unit himself, yes. He reminded me of him. I know it wasn't him. I love Bob Balaban, but god damn, that Eileen Heckart character. This one just went on for way too long, and she was just such a jerk, which I understand. That's the purpose. That's her role. That's what she's supposed to be doing. I just wanted her comeuppance to come a lot sooner, and I wanted it to be even worse because honestly, and I'm hoping you guys can tell me, I don't understand that contraption at the end that they put in the box. Is her soul in that locked up in the contraption that he makes? Because it sounds like she's in the box itself.
No, the mechanical device that is going to benefit all mankind locks from within, meaning that box can never be opened and her soul can never be free.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. I was not catching that. Yeah. The whole thing of the whole piece is them stalling or her stalling the mailman who is basically, I don't think he is the devil, but he is a devil. And just this whole thing of her stalling. I was just like, okay, enough. Just pull the plug. Just let's rip the Band-Aid off and get this thing going here. So yeah, I was just frustrated with this. I really wanted to like it a lot more. How about you, Chris?
This reminds me of that Sean Astin episode with his nagging wife.
John Astin?
Or John Astin.
Oh, John Astin. That's a night gallery.
Yeah, that's what this reminds me of. That same, the wife's obnoxious and he's annoyed. But he's less annoyed here, but it's still, she's a nag. She's obnoxious. She's kind of terrible. Not kind of, pretty terrible. And so you know where this is headed. It's one of those, you know where this is going at. Like the writing is on the wall the moment you realize that his wife is just an overbearing, obnoxious, just takes advantage of him at every turn. Like the worst example of this. Like there are people like this, but if you really want to make sure that the antagonist of the piece is terrible, make them a nagging wife, I guess, especially in the late 80s. And this show's approximate. So the outcome of the episode, I thought was this is like obvious. She's going to get locked away at some point and he's going to have somebody show up in the, the waning moments of the episode to take care of him. And there you go. And that's pretty much what happened. So other than kind of the more or less obvious nature of this, and again, I don't know how obvious it would be to someone who hasn't sat and watched all these fucking shows like we have. We've sat and watched so much of this that we are inundated with and have been exposed to these tropes so much that it's hard to not address them when we see them. But other than that, I thought it was fine. It's a little long in the tooth, like Mike said. But other than that, there have been much worse episodes of this show, and there have been much worse episodes of things we've watched together for Midnight Viewing as it is.
Yeah, it's hard to be mad at the episode. It's so gentle, and it is a gentle episode of Tales from the Darkside, and traffic in them frequently, and I never have a problem with that. However, it is, as you said, Mike, the main problem for me with the story is I can deal with the devil good. The setup, great. I like the actors. I dig a nagging wife story. Sure. This is just word processor of the gods, by the way, remade.
Oh,
but
totally.
But in a lesser way. What offends me in the episode is that she keeps delaying it day after day and getting more and more stuff. Whereas this wants to be a bottle episode and should have been a bottle episode. It should have been one evening with this guy. What can you get? Oh, look at this amazing thing I've given you, in a back and forth. And then finally, I don't know why there was a span of time at all, because the second day he comes back, he's going to say, now give me the box. Like this. Right. It was just silly that he was being so nice for so long. But I do love Richard Schill. I thought the inventor guy actually, and maybe this is because he was behind a workbench for most of it, reminded me of the guy on Fraggle Rock, whose name I can't remember, the Canadian actor.
Thank you. I didn't know if that was a apropos reference to make or not, but I was expecting a giant puppet dog to run in from stage right. And the little Fraggles. The Fraggles were in the wall, weren't they?
There was a hole in the wall, and then you go through the tunnels in there, and it leads down to Fraggle Rock. Yes.
Laugh your cares away.
Oh, man.
I thought the shirt. Is it his shirt? Is that what it is?
It could be.
I think the guy on Fraggle Rock always wore like a red plaid shirt. So I think that's.
Well, this guy, has all the tools sort of hanging out of his pockets and his hair combed over, and he's wearing glasses, and he's kind of harried while, simultaneously nebbishy. So that's the same dude. But the entire time, speaking to its gentle nature, it felt like, we talk about blackout sketches all the time being from like a New Yorker cartoon. This feels like a short story you would find in Playboy. It's enough supernatural to qualify, but really it's just an intellectual, exercise. And look, I actually think it was very well directed. I thought it was very well shot. The camera was constantly moving in interesting ways and places, and that, for some reason, I missed the credits. Maybe I pressed skip credits once when I was watching it, but didn't notice it was Jodie Foster, but took note of the direction. So I thought she did a really good job. It's just that the script is so poor. And just the setup just goes nowhere. And the production design, by the way, the box was ridiculous. The Ace Hardware press-on letters, do not open this box.
Made it better.
Like, yeah, exactly. That's the best
thing. In a weekend, the three of us could have made something that looked way spookier, or at least like more foreboding. At least, like, the item just looked kind of, I would say, goofy.
If they're trying to say that the fires of hell are equal to that of the most mundane thing on earth, then I get it. But really, I think it was just laziness on their part.
I think you're saying that. I wouldn't give the episode that much credit. I think you're saying that this time.
Boy, there's been a spate of inventor episodes on Tales from the Darkside.
Yes.
And we're going to see some in future episodes, too. What's going on, man? Did everyone have an uncle or a father that was in the basement inventing? Or is that just a trope everyone, seizes on because it allows them a quick and easy out? But, we had Randall Peltzer running around with gremlins at this time as a protagonist.
Well, it was being irresponsibly touted on TV commercials. Do you have an invention?
Thank you.
Yes.
During the daily, middle of the afternoon TV, do you have an invention that could make?
I think it's now moved into Shark Tank. So all those weirdo inventors are there, like I can see, here's the bathroom buddy, all those things on that show.
Hey, holy shit, though. You know what? Good for them, because some of those people make a ton of money.
Yeah.
They're probably making more money than they ever would have sending their widget into fucking whoever's just going to steal it and remake it and then send it back to you and say it's not a good idea.
Yeah, this is overall, it's light enough, and, I don't know, hold anything against it, considering we've seen some aggressively poor episodes this year.
Oh, yeah.
That, it ultimately is just fine. Not going to recommend it, I don't think.
The inventor of it all is weird, to your point. We didn't see that in the 90s. In the 90s, it was like kids being inventive, like Macaulay Culkin. And,
and I think back that Night Gallery had Ozzie and Harriet. drop in that one episode where he was an inventor. Like we had earlier this year, we had the guy opening portals to other dimensions.
George went.
Yeah, on
George
Twilight Zone
went.
85. It's just like just a standard trope to plug in, right? The inventor. That way we can get to get the science bullshit out of the way and get to our fantasy that we're actually trying to express.
The wackies. They're wacky scientists making wacky things. Like, okay, sure, why not?
Casting your lead as an inventor is the equivalent of Mystery Science Theaters. You should really just relax.
Right.
All right. Our next episode is Family Reunion. This is season 4, episode 16, aired originally on May the 22nd, 1988, written by Tales from the Darkside stalwart Edith Swenson, and directed by Tales from the Darkside stalwart Tom Savini. This one stars Stephen McHattie. Which made me question if this was shot in Canada, Daniel Terrence Kelly, Patricia Tallman, and Marilyn Rockefeller. Not Rockefeller, Rockefeller.
I think it also stars the Creepshow poster.
It stars not only the Creepshow poster, but the moon, the several versions of the moon from Creepshow directly lifted. This is the story of a mother pursuing her son's kidnapper, her husband, as he claims his boy is sick and only he can cure him. What did you think of this one, Chris?
Don't go into the moors at night. Isn't that what this is? We were on a trip in Europe and something happened, and now it's, oh my God, fine. Yeah, he's a werewolf, she's a werewolf. They're all fucking werewolves. All right, fine. This seems like something Stephen King. And not this specifically, but like this idea of a family that goes and and gets attacked by vampires, but then the family starts breaking apart because they're all becoming like werewolves. I mean, not vampires, werewolves. Like that feels so Stephen King with like families and werewolves and stuff. Maybe I'm thinking of Silver Bullet. Why?
Maybe. I mean, every horror author has a werewolf story in them, so I don't know why Stephen King you're singling him out. But it could.
Because I think of family stuff with Stephen King, and this is like a family-centric story. Stephen King is always talking about families, like The Mist is kind of a family thing as well. So I don't know. I thought this is fine.
The lead character would need to be an author for it to be a Stephen.
That's true. Not a crazy dad, but like a crazy author dad. This is fine. The werewolf makeup it's makeup. It's fine. The kid with werewolf makeup is funny. The mom with werewolf makeup is fine. I love the amount of slow motion used in this episode. A lot of it. like a lot. I don't know how else to describe it. There's a ton in this episode. And it's used for no discerning reason either. So, I don't know. Other than that, it's fine. You can kind of see where it's going with the reveal, I guess, is a little, again, obvious when she says, well, it was me and my son were attacked. And it's okay. Maybe leave that out. But other than that, I think it's more tolerable than some of these kinds of episodes we've seen with like children monsters. This is definitely a little bit more tolerable. I like the child actor as well. He's not as kind of all over the place as some of the child actors we've seen in some of these. So overall, it was fine.
How about you, Mike?
I think I like this a little bit more than Chris. I really liked the makeup effects, but what I liked more than the makeup effects were when they weren't using the makeup effects and shooting a lot of silhouettes or shadows and things. Yeah, I guess the slow-mo, it's funny because I noted that too, and I noted that especially like during a fight, and I was like, oh, that's the whole, Bionic Man thing. Like, they're really fighting very quickly, but we have to slow it down, or however that logic worked with the Bionic Man. But yeah, I kind of liked it. It reminded me of like older horror, just campfire tales type of thing where, oh yeah, the guy went out and shooting, like there was a werewolf terrorizing his sheep and he shot the werewolf, sorry. And he came home and his wife, was bloody all over the place because she was the actual werewolf. And I was like, oh, okay. So this idea, I kind of liked the twist that she was a werewolf as well. And that, I don't know why she necessarily would have brought that other woman along with her other than food for her and her cub, maybe. But I dug it, and I love Stephen McHattie. And he's just so good. He can be in some really terrible movies, but he usually plays a really interesting character. So I dig that guy. And yeah, I was also thinking, oh, have we moved to Canada? with this one, but yeah, it was great to see him. And yeah, I didn't mind the kid at all. Thought that he did a pretty decent job. And yeah, I just thought it was a nice, tight story. This one didn't overstay its welcome for all of the negative things about. And then the postman came back 2 days later, and then he came back the next day. This feels like it moves very quickly, and all the commercial breaks came at logical places, and just yeah, this one I really enjoyed. Where do you fall on this one, Father Malone?
Well, I always find it curious that Tom Savini, who is the Wizard of Gore, the splatter king, when left to his own devices, is one of the more restrained filmmakers of horror, even when gore is involved. To your point, Mike, the transformation sequences, sort of hearkening back to earlier Hollywood versions of werewolf transformations, when by now we had all been dazzled by The Howling and An American Werewolf in London. We had all seen it happen on screen in front of us. Nothing was going to top that, certainly not on a television budget. So he did what every filmmaker has ever done and turned it into an artistic transition. And I loved all of that. The ultimate makeups themselves are just okay. Weirdly shot poorly, I think, like overlit or something. Maybe it's the transfer that we're looking at. You know, I've never really considered that. These DVDs that I'm watching, I don't know, they're not exactly director's cuts. You know, they're not, I don't know if they've been color timed, but this one is the most reminded me of an EC Comics Creep Show. Like this could have been Creep Show Volume 2 or something. And I like all the performances here. Patricia Tallman is like a Romero family regular. She was in Knight Riders, and Savini cast her in the Night of the Living Dead remake. Right. She was on Babylon 5. Right? Yeah, she was Barbara and she was great in it, actually. I once shared an elevator with her before Night of the Living Dead came out, but I knew who she was because of Knight Riders. Anyway, she's beautiful. They give away the fact that she's the werewolf by my son and I were both attacked. You know, okay, now we get it, which is they shouldn't have done, first of all. Second of all, I don't know why they have, if the mom is a werewolf, why they have the social service character at all. Like you said, is it just for food? But they go multiple times and she engages her with her multiple times. And it feels like it's just there to get the plot going, which is unfortunate because this could have been a character study between these three people, the mom and the son and the father, and them dealing with shit because she's a werewolf. Just go at night, turn into a werewolf, knock the door down, slap the fuck out of him, grab the kid and leave. Why is there any drama here at all? Why is there any human interaction at all?
I hadn't even thought of that. Yeah. What? Wow. Woof. No pun intended, but my God. What was stopping her? If
No reason at all.
Werewolves,
Like
they're both werewolves, what's the issue?
If he had been calling her, like, you know, and she didn't know where he was, like that would be one thing. Then that could have been some drama going on. Like the fact that she knew where they was, it's ridiculous.
That's very true.
That's not a plot hole. That's a plot
Nevertheless, I liked Tom Savini. Tom Savini has always been clearly more influenced by Italian filmmakers than anybody. And I like Bobby's, his Nightmare, where Savini has appropriated his bust of Lon Chaney as the Phantom of the Opera,
right,
as this sort of as this avatar of the spirit of werewolfdom or something. It just keeps appearing to the child. It's very unusual. Nevertheless, it's odd enough that felt off kilter. So bravo.
That was my favorite part of the episode, was that weird Lon Chaney face. What?
Yeah.
The Tom Savini flex. 1988 Tom Savini flex.
Well, you know, he did name his son Lon.
Right.
You know, people probably name their sons Tom after Tom Savini, probably more than zero.
Yeah. Oh, I imagine a lot, actually.
Yeah. Tom Savini's the man. I love the use of shadows and silhouettes in this. Nobody else has been doing it as much in this show, but this episode, I think it's trafficking in it more than I've seen up until this point in the show, really. There's a lot of it. Feels almost like Nosferatu.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but I think it is hamstrung by the plot. I don't know what anything is going on. I don't know why anyone's doing what they're doing, and they're doing it for too long. And clearly that kid was raised in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I picked up a little accent there as well. Yeah.
I was wondering at the outset, because it's so sort of skillfully made, oh, this must be a California episode. No, the kid opened his mouth. Okay, gotcha. We're in New York. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. You know,
Dad,
I really...
why are you so mad at Ma?
What are you talking about, Dad?
I liked
Not a
being a
monster.
werewolf. I like turning into a monster. I'm telling you, I might be a little too Boston there. Sorry.
I'm a monster. Yeah, I'm a monster. I'm a
Yeah.
monster.
Hey, kid. I didn't realize that Patricia Tellman was also the hag in the pit with Ash in Medieval Dead, Army of Darkness.
Yeah, she's a stunt gal as well.
Yeah. Yo, she bitch. Yeah.
Now, on our next episode of Midnight Viewing, we'll be taking a look at the next 2 episodes of season 4. Those are Going Native and Hush. Midnight Viewing, the horror anthology podcast, is a proud member of a Weirding Way media group, and our theme song was composed by HP with an assist by Donald Rubenstein. Until next time, what are you working on? Where can people find it, Mike White?
Everything that I do pretty much is available over at readingwaymedia.com. You can find all the shows that I work on there with the exception of one that Chris and I do with Richard Haddam, and occasionally Father Malone stops by, and that's called Rankin' on Bond, where every month on our Patreon feed, we talk about James Bond films. That is available at patreon.com/culturecast and patreon.com/projection booth. How about you, Chris?
As for me, weirdingwaymedia.com as well is where you can find me and all the things that I work on, like, rate, and review this show on Spotify and iTunes, though, because that's the most important place to do anything with any content for Weirding Way Media. That's what I would add, because at this point, I feel like a broken record everywhere, and I will continue to be a broken record here. So that's all I can say is Weirding Way Media, and please like, rate, and review whatever you're engaging with, if you're engaging.
Yeah, let me go ahead and echo that there call to action. I haven't said it for fucking ever. Please subscribe and share the goddamn thing and press 5 stars and leave a review, a positive review. It actually fucking helps. This show has fucking doubled in listenership in the past year after doubling previously. So thank you all for doing that. As for me, head over to patreon.com/Father Malone. You're going to get episodes early and commercial free, and you're going to get bonus shows that are not available in the regular feed. But if money is tight, and I know it is, you can do all that other shit I talked about. Now, thank you for joining us here at Midnight Viewing. Until next time, try to enjoy the daylight.